What's up, guys? So here's my post through hike gear overview, I guess. This isn't absolutely everything I carried. I left some small stuff out, but really nothing changed drastically from the stuff that I started with. But of course, my Granite Gear Crown VC60. I think I'm gonna do an in-depth review of that right after this video. So I'll go check that out to see how I feel about this pack. Sleeping bag, I kept my Mountain Hardwear ratio 15 the whole way. Water resistant down, which if you don't, you need to carry a water resistant down if you're gonna go with down, because even if it's not raining, the humidity sometimes will wake up and your bag is damp. I couldn't imagine hiking without a water resistant down because it got wet multiple times on trail. Tarp tent, Stratus Power 1. Great tent, plenty of room. Nice setup, real quick. You can open up both the doors. I'll do an in-depth review on that as well. My Neo Air, yeah, y'all can tell. Look how dirty that thing is. I was so careless with this thing. I'm honestly really proud at how dirty I got it, because I wouldn't even put a ground sheet under it on the shelters. I would just roll it out, blow it up, and sleep on it. I did not get a single hole in this. I was completely careless with it, and it held up. So it's definitely worth the $120, and it's so comfortable. I think you get like 3 inches of air beneath you whenever it's fully blown up, and it's really warm too. Can definitely be used, in the winter. I started February 28th, so it was plenty warm throughout that. This is the Z-Lite. I carried a whole another sleeping pad because I thought I would need the cushion for sitting in camp or whatnot, but I realized I really didn't, so I cut it in half at Neil's Gap, and I use that very often. I would, sit down for lunch. I had it at the top of my pack, unstrap it, sit it down on a rock or the ground, and have a dry spot or a little bit of cushion before you take your breaks and whatnot. So that was nice. I definitely recommend having some type of pad like that. Another thing I did switch, I switched to the full size Sawyer. The mini, the flow rate is god awful. It's not worth it. Definitely get this full size Sawyer and keep the bag with it. I think the new platypuses don't work with the full size Sawyer, because what happens is the threads are different. So they'll thread on there and they go too far into the Sawyer, so they pop out this ring. It shouldn't come out like that, and if you lose that, then your Sawyer is pretty much useless. It'll just leak out the sides and it won't work. But yeah, very good filtration system. It's about the lightest and the simplest that you're probably gonna find on the market. Cook set. Towards the end, I was so tired of cooking and getting into camp, having to pack more water because you need like 2 cups to cook your pasta sides or whatever. And honestly, I think for my next through hike, I'm gonna go stoveless. I really wasn't too thrilled with the food, and most people towards the end of the trail were stoveless. I was probably one of the very few that actually had a stove towards the end. It's really just not worth the wait, not worth the time, and also fuel is another expense with having a cook set. Plus, it's more weight. So definitely probably gonna get rid of that for my next through hike. I had the Soto Windmaster stove. Kind of disappointed in that. It's like a $50 stove, and it's a push button start. That broke 3/4 the way through. So I kind of expected more out of a $50 stove. Dutch's stove cost $8 off of Amazon, and his push button didn't stop working, so I was kind of disappointed in that. Headlamp, just get a basic headlamp. It's really not big of a deal. This is a Black Diamond Spot. I think it's like $30. You're not going to use it very often. I night hiked maybe 3 or 4 times and needed to pull it out. Pack cover. You know, you gotta have a pack cover. Keep your backpack dry and everything around it. Not much to be said about that. I started off without this food bag. I actually found this in a hiker box in Gorham, New Hampshire. My first food bag had like a drawstring and then a cinch on it, and there would be like maybe a little 1/4 inch hole at the top. But when it's raining, water could get in there. So one day all my food got wet, which isn't a huge deal. But having a roll top food bag is definitely a good idea. This is a pretty small food bag. I'd say it's probably 13 liters, and I could fit all my food in there. But you know, you can maybe get 2 of these, have one for your dinner and breakfast, and then one for your lunch. That is actually what I did. I carried a Walmart bag for my lunch, and then kept food and dinner in this thing. And then my trekking poles, these are Lecky Quantums. You know, I really don't see any reason why not to get Leckies. I got these on sale for $50. On their aluminum shaft poles, if it breaks, if it bends, anything, they replace it 100% free of charge. They're a really solid company. Dutch actually had like a little bit of a problem with his tighteners right here, and he was like, hey, you know, could you possibly send one to me? He's like, sure, we'll go ahead and send you 4 new ones. So, you know, they're a really good company. No reason not to do business with them, and their poles are really solid as well. Rain jacket, that is one thing I changed as well. I started off with a Frog Tog. Rain jackets, they're a tough topic because nothing's going to keep you dry. I don't think anybody out there that I met had a rain jacket. I was like, yeah, man, this works perfectly. It keeps rain out and I don't sweat in it. You're going to do one or the other. You're either going to have it too breathable and it's going to get wet, or it's going to be not breathable and you're going to sweat. Which this is a non-breathable, and I sweat like crazy in this. This is a Lightheart Gear. Lightheart Gear rain jacket. I don't know what exactly it's called, but it's made out of Sil nylon, which is what tents are made out of, and I should have known that was going to be super hot. So the only times I use this is if it was cold and raining, and you know, most of the time I would just hike without a rain jacket. It was more comfortable than being hot and sweating and it being raining. So, you know, rain jackets. Rain's just something you have to suck it up and just deal with it pretty much. Base layers. I started February 28th, so I carried base layers up until Woods Hole Hostel in Parisburg, Virginia, and then I sent them home there. I used them maybe once or twice, but honestly, I think it's worth it to carry a base layer if you're starting pretty early. You know, these are Under Armour base layers. They're about a pound together, so you know it's worth it if you do catch like a cold snap. There's no way to predict how severe a winter is going to be. For me, at least, it was very mild this year, so that was nice. Used it maybe once or twice. Shoes, of course, I did an in-depth review of these. La Sportiva Wildcats. Darn Tough socks. Really the only socks you should really be messing with. They have a great warranty. Solid socks. And this is some kind of basic, you know, health, I guess, stuff that you may overlook and you may not need initially from starting, but towards the end, I bet you'll probably be carrying something like this. Moleskin, if you have blisters, those will save your life. You know, you just tape it over your blister and it prevents it from rubbing it, you know, that stuff. And some type of anti-itch or anti-chafing cream is a must. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, hope you all find that useful. If you want to know anything else about my gear, any recommendations, just let me know. See you later.